if you look at Apple's growth over last year, right, you said 34%. So if we see the same amount of growth that Apple had last year, this year, we're talking not a company approaching $3 trillion, but a company that hit $4 trillion if we hear at the same time next year. I think that's just kind of a lot to expect from the company. As the company hits $3 trillion, it's going to have a lot more expectations, and those are going to be tougher to meet. We know there's supply chain constraints. We know there might be some demand issues with the iPhone. And so I think what Dan's saying is spot on. It might be time to start thinking a little differently about Apple stock.
Okay, wow. Think different, by the way. You're stealing, I think, their tagline, Alex. We're going to go. Let's talk about the iPhone first. This year, we'll probably get the iPhone. I don't know what it is, 28 or 14, whatever the number is. And I don't mean that lightly. What I'm saying is I feel like people are keeping their phones longer. Anecdotally, you look around, and these incremental improvements just don't drive people out to buy the new phones like they used to. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. You look at Apple, it's a culture of refinement. That's what they do inside the company. They make the devices smaller, thinner, faster, and more expensive. And so what that's led to is people saying, okay, well, I have the device. My iPhone 13 doesn't look a lot different from my iPhone 10, and it's not going to look a little bit that much different from my iPhone 14, so I'm going to hang on to it. It means the service business is much more important for Apple. But I think what you're saying is spot on. They're not seeing the upgrades in the ways that we've seen in the past, where people wait online and wait for the next iPhone. And I think investors are really banking on another flagship product from the company. We haven't seen that in a while. And so, yeah, I would say you're right. We see that the iPhone does get a lot of sales, but the services business, other businesses are becoming way more important for Apple. And so, yes, is there going to be a new iPhone in 2022? Most likely we'll see the 14. Is it a monumental big, a news event like it usually is? No, I don't think so.
Well, and nobody did that better than the late, great Steve Jobs. They would do the product things, and at the end he would say, oh, and one more thing. And that was always like the thing. You do wonder, Alex, given how good Apple is, A, at hardware and graphics, and B, at keeping secrets, could this year the wild card be them coming out with something amazing around the metaverse, basically taking Facebook on? The two companies already pretty much hate each other, going right at Facebook and coming out with some spectacular VR device that is the must-have?
Yeah, I would say the companies don't pretty much hate each other. They definitely hate each other. And I think you're right. Apple is going to come straight for Facebook's lunch. They're expected to release a mixed reality device, something that combines virtual reality and augmented reality. The thing with Apple is, I mentioned earlier, culture of refinement. They're very good at making the iPhone better. They're not very good at making devices in a new category. Think about how big of a failure the HomePod was. Was that so hard? No, it was basically putting Siri in a speaker like the Echo or the Google Home, and they couldn't make that happen. And so now we're expecting that they're going to come out with this, augmented / virtual reality device. Facebook has, or we call it Meta now, right? It has a huge lead in the metaverse. And it's going to be this really interesting flip where Apple had been the device maker constraining Meta's products. On mobile, now Meta is the one in the lead. It has the gold standard virtual reality device, and Apple is trying to come in and crash the party. And it hasn't been traditionally inventive in the recent years. So that'll be a fun fight to watch.